Who's that?
Oi, oi.
Pedro himself.
Pedro Pascal. Oh my God. Good evening, one and all. It's Monday. It's 8 p.m. So it's that time. It's time for Nerd Juice with us four today. We've missing two of the lads, but I think we'll do our best to keep you entertained. Gentlemen, how the devil are we doing this evening?
Who are we missing?
I feel like Benny's been gone for about 15 years.
Like how long until like they're disavowed?
It's like if you miss 3 in a row, you're just kind of
3 strikes and you're out. Ooh, it's not looking good for Betty and James.
Was James gone last week as well?
Yes.
Ooh.
I didn't realise it was us four back to back, holding down the fort.
Was it?
Keeping the Nerd Juice alive.
Yeah, Max.
Keeping the juices flowing.
That's going on a hoodie.
Yeah.
Merch coming to
TM.
Watch this space.
Charge
I had
for a hoodie.
I had a shocking revelation today, and it's quite upsetting. I realised that I'm now officially old. I realise it's payday tomorrow, and I'm most excited to fill up my car with diesel, and then go to Asda and do a load of food shopping for the month, and then put money in the savings. Before I'd be like, oh, it's payday, I'll buy some Lego. I'll put the fuel in the car.
My problem is recently my every payday has been like my credit card bill is just getting a little bit higher as I kind of like buy minifigs to sell and like kind of buying sets to flip and things like that. Like my credit card bill just gets higher and higher. So every payday is just straight to the credit card and then just build the credit card bill back up again.
Do you then, Max, have your credit card linked to your PayPal account?
I don't. I have my normal current account, and then I do it manually just so that I can kind of keep track of everything because I don't want. I like having my PayPal separate from everything because my PayPal is essentially my like business account because I just haven't got around to opening a proper business account.
I just, when you were saying you spend that money on minifigures, I assumed you were using PayPal for that, and if you're using your credit card to fund it.
Oh yeah. I buy things with my credit card on PayPal, which I'm probably being stung somewhere, like because I don't know if like friends and family counts as cash, and obviously cash on a credit card is very expensive.
Oh yeah, it'll count as a money transfer. Yeah. So yeah, don't do that.
I mean, I pay it off quickly, especially when I know it's something like that. But I haven't been like flagged yet, so it's pretty worth looking into though.
It is.
If you want to help Max with his, if you want to help Max with his credit card bill, go and check out his Bricklink or his eBay.
We've got a GoFundMe in the chat.
Go check out my eBay. More importantly,
that you've just been crying about with the listings.
Or subscribe to Brick Fans and get saucy pictures of Max wearing a helmet and a Speedo in return.
Oh, Jody,
I get that for free anyway, so I don't need to.
Absolutely.
You have to do is ask.
I want the sticker format next. So just I saw this. I suppose that there will be spoilers, Chris, at some point, but we'll get to it later. I suppose it's probably we'll see how the conversation goes, but I would imagine there will be a level of spoiler, but certainly from an opinion perspective. But that's for later, so stick around for now, I reckon, and then you can make that call when we come to it. Maybe put a banner on the screen so you can mute us, and then we'll take it off when you're done. But we'll worry about that later. Jeff's here, by the way, so we can get started.
Oh, there we go. Right, let's start again. Kick everyone out, and we'll come back in.
Okay.
Run the countdown.
Start all again. Yeah, we do it all again. We've got the Blues now.
Well, yeah, I've been off today. I've been away for the weekend, so I had a nice little weekend in a log cabin with Sky Sports and a hot tub. So it was decent. So yeah, I don't mind it at all when you're off on a Monday because then it's a short week. So
Did all the way to a cabin in a hot tub just to watch the Tommy Fury fight? Was that like
I
a big
did. Like I did it to hide the shame, just so like nobody would know that I watched the Tommy Fury fight. And I'm disgusted by myself for getting drawn into that fight as much as I did. But I did, and I watched it, and I paid for it. But yeah,
Did you enjoy
It
it?
is what it is.
well, I thought the Badu Jack fight beforehand. I don't know if you watched it, the fight before. It was a hell of a fight, the Badu Jack fight. Obviously, Badu Jack is now a 3-weight world champion, so like he's decent level. But yeah, it's weird, right? Because essentially they were the equivalent, and I think this is what Carl Froch said. When it comes to boxing, me and Carl Froch are on the same level. So, like, you know, like I emulate what he says, but it was essentially two contenders for fighting towards a British title fight, not even fighting for, like working towards that. That's the level that these two are at.
Yeah.
And that's not taking anything away for them. They just wouldn't usually be headlining a fight. So yeah, you've got to kind of recognize that the ring was small. It was only 8 rounds. It was just a bit odd more than anything, but it was all right. Wasn't it? I've paid for worse fights, that's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just refuse to pay for pay-per-views. Like, I get that it's very much a kind of a combat sports concept.
Yeah.
But like in my head, I already spend a fortune to get these sports channels, and I'm like, why would I like paying pay-per-view for an Arsenal match? I would do because I know I'm getting 90 minutes. Whereas for boxing, I know you get the whole card, but for me as a complete casual, I couldn't care less about any of the undercards.
Yeah.
I'm like, I could potentially spend 25 quid here to watch someone get done inside 30 seconds.
But the irony is, you would rather that. If a lot of people have the mentality of, well, if I'm paying the money, I want to see someone get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I don't want 12 rounds like ball fest. So there is a bit of a bit of irony in that. But yeah, it was all right. As I say, I've paid for worse. I didn't pay for Floyd Mayweather and Aaron Chalmers on Saturday night, but I don't think any fucker did, to be honest. Not even to go. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures. Oh, awful. But to be honest, Aaron Chalmers, from what I heard, I don't think he landed a punch and was just happy to be there the whole time. It was like, this is going to look great on my Instagram. Like, I think that's all how he got paid. But,
I feel like that's probably the end of Floyd's exhibition run, in the sense that he's had a few now and they did all right, and then he's done this one and it's got absolutely made no money, and he's probably making an absolute fortune from them.
Yeah, but it's that thing, isn't it? Like it all comes down to who he's fighting. Like Logan Paul was a big draw, but he actually never paid Logan Paul, if you believe Logan Paul. So like he has not been paid yet. So yeah, I can't imagine the likes of KSI, even Jake Paul, like those people who would be a draw for it. None of them are going to want to fight him until that situation's resolved with Logan.
Yeah.
But everything you hear about Floyd is he's skint because he blows his money like hand over fist.
That's a good way to go, to be fair.
Well, it is.
Spend money.
But you wouldn't want to earn that amount of money and then doing one thing and then getting to an age where you can't really do it anymore.
Yeah.
And then be like, shit, like, what do I do? Anyway, good evening, Mr. Calvert.
Hello.
I just can't stand YouTube boxing. I understand where it came from like years ago, but I can't fathom how it's lasted this long and why every YouTuber and their girlfriend seems to think that like, let's create some fake beef and then like doggy slap each other in the ring for eight minutes.
I think TikTok boxing is even worse.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do
you see the podcast? Like, I saw some snips on clips on TikTok. There was like Astrid Wet and the one she fought. They said they were literally like coordinating, being like, meet me at this club and we'll like pretend to have a fight.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, A1 marketing, but Christ alive. Like, no wonder the purists absolutely hate these boxing events.
But like, what's he called? Jake Paul, like that was his promotion last night. So, and then like he paid Tommy Fury. So like that's how it's happening. KSI, I think with the Misfit stuff, like that's his promotion.
Yeah.
So basically nobody will give them a fight. So they're like, well, I'll fund it myself and do it myself.
Yeah.
That's how. I love that Henry saying it's a joke, but actually went to the last KSI boxing fight as well. Yeah.
Because this podcast is so incredibly huge, they're not going to invite him back to any now.
That's it.
Yeah.
I hope Simple Simon sees this and then calls Henry out on a TikTok.
Yes. I mean, he's there, isn't he? Like Henry's in that ballpark of figures, and like Simon only calls out people of a certain ilk and size. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that was my weekend. Harvey, other than wearing makeup.
Wasn't the first time. First time wearing makeup that isn't for women. Well, it is for women, but not.
It's all right. We're all friends here.
Yeah,
We're all friends.
You get what I mean. But yeah, I mean, chilled with, certain men, certain women, and yeah, cool.
What's the story behind the makeup? Is this for like cosplaying, or
have you not seen his Instagram?
I don't do so.
Oh, he's pulling it up. Okay.
Oh dear.
Be done.
Okay.
Harvey's about to be exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Is it one of those like you let someone put makeup on you as a way of flirting?
Yeah.
It is cosplay makeup.
Oh no, babes, don't put it on me. Oh no.
No, I was like, because I don't know, eyes when they're going around, putting it around my eyes, and I'm like, the entire
People that
time.
put eyeliner on creeps me out.
Ugh, I couldn't do it. God, I think there's still a little bit on my eye because I couldn't wipe it off either. I was like squirming too much.
No, you kept it on because you'd like it.
Are you ready for this, by the way?
Bruce Wayne when he's not in Batman. Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's see it.
Okay. 2 secs.
You should have seen it already. God, I can't believe you don't support me on Instagram.
Oh my god.
You kind of look like Vader's wife.
I must say, Harvey, you look very thin there.
It's the contour.
Yeah, I mean, there's the picture. There.
Oh. Whoa, Jesus.
I'm loving the chest.
I'm Harvey.
You wouldn't look at a place if you were like
At a drag queen convention.
in the bubonic plague, kind of dragging your tank down the street.
No, it's a safe place, lads. No kink shaming. It looks good, Harvey. Look forward to seeing the finished article.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I just need to learn how to do it myself. So, I'm not, or teach James how to do it.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
James with a cock and balls in his forehead. Right?
We got to go. Comic-Con's now. No time.
Yeah.
Have you? Are you doing contact lenses?
I bet I was sat there for ages, just putting it on me, and I was like squirming the entire time, just putting it around my eye. I can't put something on. I'll be crying.
Oh, it's funny.
I'll be there like.
So, Paige, please, next time you do this, set up your phone, set it to record. Just DM me on Instagram, and we'll share it with the world because the world needs to see the process of how we get there. But looking good, Harvey. I know you can't see it, but I know I've stopped sharing, but I've still got your hairy chest kind of looking at me. I'm just going to put that on one side for later, all right?
Juice after hours.
How was your weekend other than that, then, H?
Yeah, it was very good.
Any pizza? You must have had pizza this weekend.
Yes, yeah.
What pizza did you have?
I think it was called like chicken and bacon bonanza.
What's on that?
So my controversial opinion, I don't know how controversial it is, but I don't think chicken should be a main topping on a pizza. It's all right as like on a meat feast, but I just don't think chicken is like a main topping. What the hell is that? A
Yeah.
burger?
Yeah.
Is that a rustler?
Nice.
No. You mad? Don't insult me.
The Westlers.
I don't know. I don't mind chicken on a pizza, but like I'm kind of with you. I feel like I like the traditional pizza toppings rather than the kind of just it's edible, so chuck it on a pizza.
I wanted to at least
Load of
get
meat,
some
load of veg.
protein out of it.
Veg.
Yeah, peppers,
pizza?
onions. Yeah, peppers, onions.
Jalapenos!
And yeah,
Give your head
bit
a
of
squeak.
crunchiness.
No.
So here's one. Mrs. Obi-Wan, her favorite pizza is a vegetarian pizza with ham on it.
Oh, why?
She'll storm in the room, and there is some logic to it, but it just when you see it out loud, it's crazy. She loves veg on a pizza, and if you go the other way, where you get ham with veg on it, it never has the levels of veg that you want. So
Yeah.
when you start then adding toppings on and the charger for them, it's better to go a vegetarian pizza than ask them to put ham on. But I always think, like, what would the pizza shop think? Like when that order comes through, and
Yeah.
it's absolutely like Pam mentality from Gavin and Stacey. Yeah.
I like the idea that these shops, like probably not with vegetarian stuff, but like have separate sections for like allergens. And it's like, so they'll prepare all their vegetarian pizzas like with specific ways. And then at the end of the line, they're just slapping ham on it. Like, what's going on?
You've clearly never been to a pizza shop in the northeast of England, Max, if you think they have separate serving stations.
One day.
Check it all on.
How was your weekend, Nathan?
It was, I can't remember now. It was all right. Went down to see the parents on Saturday. I've not seen them since Christmas, so that was nice. And then I think I just chilled on Sunday and played quite a lot of GTA on the PS5. You know, buy a PS5, and the first game I played was fucking GTA, and I've been playing that for 10 years. And logic.
Is there much difference to the PS5 GTA? The GTA on PS5?
Not that I can tell.
I think there is.
The graphics look a little bit better. I think there is some extra areas.
60 FPS.
Sorry.
We're not far off GTA 6 though, right?
I'm buzzing. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a bit of talk about it. Nothing official yet. I don't think it's going to have online.
I must have, surely.
I think they're going to keep pumping GTA Online at the minute, and then do story mode for this one because GTA Online is still going quite hard, and they don't want to take away that.
Fair enough. It's I'm looking forward to that. But we're all PS5 guys now, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm still transitioning.
The dodgy pads.
I was still trying to get over not having my thumb up here somewhere and having it down here.
It's the trigger buttons for me.
Yeah. See, like for me, it's the D-pad. Is it called? Like so with an Xbox remote, I can just like very easily, like in a really swift motion, just switch here. But I can't do it the other way around. So I end up taking this hand off and pressing it like this on the PlayStation. I'm there.
I think I do that.
I'm like wandering around Hogwarts going Revelio, and I just literally look an absolute simpleton. So I'm still.
You don't need a controller to do that, Max.
Yeah, correct.
You do that quite well anyway.
So I do that on Warzone because the D-pad you use to call in your airstrikes, like your kill streaks. So if you're running around, I'll have to like lean over with this one and press a button.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you. I feel the transition, but stick with it.
No, I'm excited for the new games.
So we're 20 minutes in. Should we get straight into it?
Yes.
Yeah. Segment number 1.
Oh, Liam, you dirty dog. Right. We are getting straight into it. We've got TikTok. You need to get in the bin. Is it already in the bin? Can I jump out the bin? What's the situation? Because it is piss poor for me at the moment.
So given the audience tonight, I would really like and appreciate a bit of audience participation on this one, because I think everybody has a different experience at different times. So guys in the chat, like, how are you feeling about TikTok right now? Because I think, like, with me, I sometimes think, like, I've been on TikTok now coming up to 2 years, no, 3 years, sorry, 2.5, coming up to 3 years. And have I just like run my course with it? And then like those who are like riding the wave right now are people who came to it later or potentially came to like Lego Talk later. So I think it's all a very different experience. But you know, I never see anybody I follow on the FYP anymore. Never see anything like Lego related or very little. And is that because of me? And I'm like, when I do see it, I scroll or what? Or is it just the algorithm's not pushing it? Like, I've genuinely no idea. But I think the big thing I'm feeling at the minute is for a good period over COVID, Lego, certainly Lego Talk and like TikTok, that Star Wars part, really kind of had this quite tight knit like community within Lego Talk and then Star Wars Talk. But I don't feel like that exists anymore in the same way. And that stops me kind of coming back for more, if that makes sense. Whereas then Instagram is changing how it does business all over again. But like, yeah, and then I don't know what TikTok's trying to be anymore. I mean, it's massively all about driving revenue for itself in disguise.
Yeah, unless it's TikTok shop, you don't really see much push, really.
My TikTok is currently 50% TikTok shop, and it's tedious. Like for me, like when I first started, it was slow, but then eventually, when you get to that kind of like the 10K ish, in my head, and maybe it was naive of me, but I was thinking, I was like, right, that 10K platform is the most difficult to get. From there, you're going to be going up like at quite a consistent level. And I don't know if it was a combination of like my ideas were shit, my execution was shit, or like just me losing interest in general. I just found that like the inconsistency of results was just so off-putting. Like I would spend 15 seconds just with my mouth open, pointing up there, going new Lego video, whatever, and it would get 20K views in an afternoon. I'd then spend 4.5 hours like creating, editing, perfecting a video, and it would do 250 views in a week. And I'm like, it was that level of like, there was no consistency. I had no niche outside, like within the like nerd talk, Lego talk niche. And I just kind of like, I think I've posted maybe 3 videos in the last month. And I don't know if I can be bothered. Yeah.
No, I feel that because it's funny. I don't know if Henry's still around, but I always kind of like admire how Henry broke the TikTok system of not posting with sounds, never posting trends, never posting hashtags. And for a long time, he just kind of he dragged his heels dragged quite a bit. You know, his views were pretty steady, and then he, as I always say, he went out that night and his life changed forever. But he continuously doesn't post with hashtags, rarely posts with sounds and all of that. And he very much breaks the mold. Now, I look at Henry and think, God, like he's, you know, he gets good views, gets good likes and comments, and it's very different. But then I always wonder as well, like I'm basing his success against my experience. Like, does someone like Henry feel the pinch as well right now? A good person would have been to ask James, because obviously James is 200,000 and tends to get like I think because he posts daily, he has a different kind of experience every day. But yeah, I just like, I don't know, just it's weird. And I think the biggest struggle I have right now is I don't know what I want out of TikTok anymore.
Yeah.
The live experience isn't the same. I don't think people particularly want to sit and watch people build Lego on live because of how mad TikTok lives are now. Like people just like, they've got to be like 100 mile an hour rock and roll music style. like videos, whereas I'm just kind of sat there strumming an acoustic guitar equivalent. What a mad like analogy, that metaphor that was, but yeah, it's like it's just a very, very different thing in my experience. And I just, yeah, I don't know what I want out of TikTok anymore. And I don't know what, I think it's only the vanity of having 90,000 followers that keeps me just opening the app and basically not deleting my account.
Yeah. That feeling of like seeing a video go viral is unrivaled. Like when you see that video kind of going up literally 10k views a minute and it's getting closer to 1 mil and stuff, like it's like a drug. It just gets you going. But like, and I know that you can't expect to have that every video. But like you've got people like you mentioned Henry, like Gabby as well. I don't know if she's still in here, but like I think the two of them absolutely nailed like TikTok.
Yeah.
Like I love Gabby's videos, like being able to literally pluck a sound and be creative with it, and then manage to spin it and do it on like multiple franchises. I think is so well done. And like I don't know if all her videos do this, but like it seems like every video I see of Gabby's has gone viral. Like not necessarily like platinum viral, but it's got 30, 40, 50,000 views and a ton of likes and a ton of engagement. And then you've got Henry, Henry's content is what I want to do. Like I want to literally just pick up my phone, record something that's interesting within this niche and post it. Whereas like, I don't think I've got that algorithm within my account in order to just do that. I've got to have specific hashtags. Like if I don't post about Lego, the video does nothing. Like I have to be posting about Lego, which I hate. Like I love Lego, but I don't want to post about Lego.
Like how much can you really talk about Lego?
Yeah, I know.
On the DLE? This is my thing. And the success that I had just before Christmas, I had a couple of videos that did really well. But like the time and effort it took for me to do it, it was like build in slow motion and then in like time lapse and then do a voiceover review and then do the loop on it where like I finished the video where I put it down and then pick it back up and like all of that. Like as you say, Max, takes like 3 or 4 hours. And the serotonin hit will be there when it lands. But I look at those videos now and just be like, I can't be fucking arsed. Like I just can't be arsed.
The Lego designer meetings, Christ on a bike, I cannot be bothered. Like the first 2 went viral, and I was like, I fucking found my niche. Like little like skits in my bedroom, and then I think the third one got about 3k views, and I was like, can't be arsed. No, done.
Yeah, nah, totally get it. I did that with the custom minifigures. Like I was banging with them, and I could have been at a point where I was like still going with them today, but like I stopped because I didn't want to be that guy, and then I kind of brought them back for a little bit, and I think I got 3 days in, and my top views were like 6,000 views. I was like, nah, fuck that, that's dead. I'm just like, but yeah, weird.
Harvey, are you still posting? Like, are you?
I haven't posted.
I should know this. I should be watching your content, but.
Well, you haven't seen my Instagram until Liam showed you, so nothing surprises me anymore. But nah, I haven't uploaded in over a month.
So I didn't even realize that's how little I'm like currently on my like Brick Pursuit account is. I didn't even notice that you hadn't been posting for a month.
Yeah,
I think that's down to the algorithm too. Like it doesn't show you the videos that you want to see, all the creators that you follow.
Yeah, you can ask James about that. As soon as he follows someone back or someone follows him back, they disappear. He's sent so many emails to TikTok.
Could be worse though. You could be Nathan and sat on videos for like 16 hours and have 0 views, constant like video after video.
That did my head in. I posted it on the Thursday, and then it's got no views after 20 minutes. That's a bit worrying. What's going on? And I wake up, no views. What are you doing? Right, I've been that one off. Try again. Same story. It's just,
that's what's funny to me is the fact you deleted it and reposted it. It still got 0 views.
Nathan, what do you use to record your videos?
I choose my phone, and I normally edit it in CapCut. and then check out
Right.
TikTok. But I know that sometimes if you do it all on TikTok in the app, it's meant to make it perform better.
Well, this is the
Theoretically.
theory, but nobody ever really knows, do they? And then, like, I've heard
No.
stuff said about using like a DSLR, like, can have an impact, but I don't know which way around and all that. But I would like to think it's all bollocks, and essentially good stuff rises to the top and other shit drops. But there's no reason why like your video should be getting 0 views after
No.
you would think it would at least get 10 test views to see if people at least watch or scroll. But yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
think
just
with
nothing.
Lego, with Lego Talk and Nerd Talk, I think like there is certain videos that you know are good and that you know are just filling a void. There have been some videos that I've made where as I'm making them, I'm literally like, I could upload this at 3 o'clock in the morning and I know it will go viral. Because it's just like it fits a trend, it fits a mold, it's quick, it's snappy, it's punchy. Like the video I did where I was like, the video I did where I was like, oh, who would buy the Eiffel Tower with the Millennium Falcon sat behind me? The second I had that idea, I knew it was going viral.
yeah.
Then there are other videos that like I'll make and I'll like start uploading them and I'll be like, nah, this is a shit video, but fuck it. And quite rightly, they get 500 views or 1,000 views. And it's like, I think you're right. I think we all overanalyze. We're all guilty of overanalyzing. Like, has to be uploaded at 7:30. It has to be on Monday to Thursday. Friday uploads are crap. And I'm sure there is an element to it. But I've also had videos that I've uploaded at 11 a.m. do infinitely better than Thursday prime time at 7 o'clock. And I think it is just, as you said, there is a certain type of video that TikTok likes that does well. And I think obviously using certain words, like don't say link in bio and things like that, will push things. But I am starting to think that a lot of all this kind of nuance that we put into timings and where we're making the content, I think it's all bollocks. Because I mean, TikTok and CapCut seemingly have a partnership at the moment, so I doubt CapCut is hindering videos. But who the fuck knows? It's the inconsistency that kind of demoralizes me.
No, I agree. I think if you found something that you could then see, okay, that worked. I did X, Y, and Z. I try it again. It works again, and then it works and works and works. Then you'd be like, well, fair enough. And then I tried something new. It's shit. It's fell off. That explains it. But I've had videos where they'll get like 300-400 views, but the like to view ratio is about 30 to 40%, and you're like, that's unbelievable. Like, I usually a good video is like 10%. So like,
that's what I find. It's normally 10%.
Yeah.
The thing that I see quite a lot of is people saying about obviously views on TikTok and not to chase the views. And if you're chasing the views, they won't come to you. But it's tricky when you've got such a passion for making content and you put the effort in, you put the time in, you spend ages getting everything ready to film, and then you're editing it for hours and hours, and you post it. And it's a good video, not to sound big-headed, but it's good. And TikTok just do absolutely nothing with it. They don't push it. It doesn't get the views you thought it was going to. It's hard. I was going to say heartbreaking, but it's not heartbreaking. It's disheartening because you're doing all that work for something that you enjoy, and you're sort of not getting the payback that you thought you would. It's frustrating. I know we've had heated discussions in the past about it in the Discord and stuff. But it's just such a toxic thing to think I've got to make a video and it's got to get a certain amount of views, which is sort of what it was like posting daily. And why I'm absolutely in love with not posting daily and just posting when I feel like now. Because you don't have to worry about that as much, even though I do.
I guess it's human nature there. We all want gratification, and when you get that little bit of taste for a viral video or multiple thousands of followers, you suddenly, I wouldn't say you get a messiah complex, but like there is an element of like you feel like, oh, I've got thousands and thousands of followers. I am Jesus. You have thousands of followers. It's like my video should be doing well, and you get that kind of like addiction to it. But Gabby just said this, and I think it's not to just harp on about how great Gabby is, but like I think this is something that I think you do so well. Is like you'll do a video with a sound on Marvel, it will do well, and like the next day I'll see it's Star Wars, the next day it's DC, the next day it's Lego, the next day it's Funko. All 5 of them do well, and I think this is I thought of this kind of thing, not thing recently, but it was like people making videos for TikTok, not their followers. I would be I always had it in my head that I can't use this sound 5 times in a row because my followers are going to look at that and go, God, that's a bit crap, isn't it? You're just repeating the same video. When in reality, your followers aren't seeing your videos anyway. So you might as well use that sound, use it effectively, and get the views.
Just milk it until it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the I think you were saying last week, Max, or it might have been the week before, about like soon as you see a video in your niche, you're like, I'm not fucking doing that.
Yeah. Already been done.
But like, you know, that Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal one, like those videos are banging, and I'm like, nah, it's done. Like I'm sick of that video now, so I'm not putting it out there as a video, but absolutely I should. But then comes back to me and thinks like, what do I want TikTok to be? And now Instagram is refocusing attention back on images, and there is a decent nerd community like Lego and Star Wars and everything. And I still think brands pay more attention to Instagram. You just think, is that where, like, should that be the primary platform?
I wish it was as easy to grow on Instagram as it was on TikTok. It's just not.
I think I think the algorithm on Instagram is easier to figure out, but you do have to like just plug away at it, and you've got to feed the machine when it comes to Reels. But then if they're deprioritizing Reels, then do you two want a room or something?
No, so she like people keep telling me I look like, in my comment section keep telling me
People
like
keep telling me I look like Pedro Pascal.
Personally,
I've never mentioned that before.
She doesn't, and it really annoys me.
Because she knows what she's doing.
I also don't see it, but the fact that she does it pisses me off. Just the principle of it.
And that she thirsts for Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, but not for me.
Well, I mean, she's with you. I'd say that's a good start.
She's currently playing my PS5, so
how dare she?
I know.
How dare she?
She's got more hours on it than I do.
Oh,
So,
shocking. I think we're all in agreement. TikTok can
in the bin.
get in the bin.
What like
it might crawl its way now.
What do you reckon your kind of short, medium, long term goals, expectations are with your own TikTok account, TikTok in general? Keep going, keep grinding, or is it kind of slowly fading away?
Very slowly fading away. I'll correct myself from earlier. I don't think I'm more bothered about the followers. I'm almost bothered more about, like, if I close down my account, it's the brand, like the OP1 name. Because if I'd be gutted if I closed my account and somebody else was like, yoink, am I having that? So like I almost kind of hold on to that for like no reason. I feel like I just wanted to keep hold of it for 10 years, let it be forgotten about, and then delete it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I honestly don't know. I don't know what. I keep telling myself I'm going to do a bit more on a weekend and like do a load of recording or take a load of pictures for Instagram and then upload one a day. But can be asked.
Yeah, I'm in the camp of like, before I would once a week or twice a week, I would be like, right, I'm going to sit down, brainstorm video ideas and just bosh out a bunch of videos and then space them out. Not like setting time aside to make videos. I'm like,
I'll just upload when I have a
Harvey,
video idea.
Harvey, I don't know what's happened.
Yeah, okay. I pulled my mic out. I could see you all just like, and I was like, what? What's going on? Like, what's happening?
Boys.
God's sake. Anyway, what I said was, I used to like sit down like a couple of times a week and be like, right, I need to think of video ideas, make them, like bosh out a bunch of videos, and then whack them out throughout the week or whatever. And I'd
He's
set
using a lot
time
of
aside.
masturbating metaphors here, by the way. Boshing and whacking and
yeah. So I'd sit there and like jerk out some ideas, and I'd set some time aside to do it. When I'm alone,
I'm more impulsive.
I'm not disturbed. And now instead of setting specific time aside to bosh them out and sitting there thinking of ideas, I think from now on I'll more just be like, when I've got a video to upload, I'll make it. When I really have the desire to do it, I'll do it, instead of actually like forcing myself to set time aside to do it.
Here's James.
I think for me, I really want to get out of Lego. Like I want, if I could, like, I'm kind of done for the minute, but I think if I could move on to just general nerd talk, because I want to talk about Marvel, Star Wars, DC, Lord of the Rings, Lego, Funko Pops. I want to talk about these things and make videos on these things, but I don't like being attached to this specific Lego niche. And I think I'll probably give it another couple of weeks just chilling, and then give it a go, maybe do like a minor rebrand and try and get away from this Lego and build up my account as a nerd-based account. And if that then doesn't work, I'll probably go, you know what, had a good year and a half. It was good fun. Keep the account, maybe post the occasional video or story and whatnot, but nothing too concrete. But yeah, I'm willing to give it 6 months or so.
So what's the tactic to do that? Do you drop the hashtags? Because I keep daring myself to do this, then bottle it.
Yeah.
But like, do you drop all of the hashtags, drop any franchise related sound, and use more like just virally sounds, if any sounds at all, and just be bold and kind of do a bit of a Henry, whereby you get people to follow you rather than follow your content, if that makes sense. And then like, but it feels like it's a big step backwards before you can do that step forwards.
Yeah.
And are you bold enough to do that?
We'll see. We will see. If you see me come back in 3 weeks and disappear within a month and a half, just mind your own business.
Sound.
That's what I'll say.
Sound.
I think if you want to branch yourself off into nerdy sort of content, we can segue along into our next segment. We've got some interesting news that I know nothing about, so Max is the guy for this. We've got some updates and some information on a new set of Lord of the Rings films. I believe we've got some animated and some live action, maybe, I don't know, just films in general. My Lord of the Rings adventure is almost finished. I've not seen them before. I've just got Return of the King to watch now, the extended version. So when I've got a bit of time, I'll sit down and watch that. And I'll finish the story, but I won't have, because I need to watch Rings of Power, so that'll be next. But yeah, more Lord of the Rings. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should we just leave it where it is?
I'm just going to preface by saying I haven't seen it, so I'm going to tap out.
Attacking in the comments. Yeah, it's interesting. I've been doing a little bit of reading. It's still quite speculative at the moment, and I think one thing that they have said is it's not going to be a remake or kind of ongoing from the 3 movies we've had. It's going to be other elements of the books. But I've heard some rumors that it's live action, some rumors that it's animated. No one really knows at the minute. They obviously had the animated film back in like 70s or 80s. I think there's already a film the war. It's like something to do with the Rohirrims, like the War of the Rohirrims or something like that. That's the animated movie, and then I think down the line they've got live action stuff planned. For me, I don't need it. I'll watch it and I'll probably enjoy it, but I feel like sometimes you don't need to add to things. Like Rings of Power, caveat, I've not seen yet. I've been waiting to kind of get down and actually watch it, but that wasn't overly popular. It wasn't overly raved about, and I think the more shit content you spew out on a franchise, it will take away from how incredible the first three were. And so, as a big fan of it, I'm intrigued, but I don't 100% think it's necessary.
I think at the minute, Hollywood or the film industry, they're on a big nostalgia hype at the minute. There's been so many remakes and carrying on stories that we already know, films and TV series everywhere. I think they were sort of testing the water with Rings of Power to see what the reaction would be. And obviously, I haven't seen that myself yet either. So just sort of dipping their toes in, seeing what it's like to getting ready for expanding the universe wider.
So my understanding is it's quite the opposite. There has been a scramble between all of the different production companies for years to get their hands on the Lord of the Rings rights from the Tolkien family. Amazon managed to get specifically the TV rights, and I think it was relevant to the Second Age, so they can only make a TV series around that era. That's all they have the rights to. These new films or proposed ones are from a different age. So although I don't know if there's going to be an overall canon timeline and story, I hope there is, because I think that would ruin it if they have different versions of canon that are all connected to the original trilogy. But yeah, they are separate. So the TV companies or production companies are scrambling over themselves to like get the rights to Lord of the Rings and make Lord of the Rings content. I think it links back to what we were talking about last week about like, does it with Star Wars, does it ruin the magic? And I reiterate, I think if it's done wrong, absolutely. But I like Star Wars, and I think Lord of the Rings is starting that journey now. There is so much to be told there, and they can go off and start really creating stories that haven't even existed yet, and I'm all for that.
It's interesting because I think I'm the opposite. Like if they came out and said we're creating another trilogy of films, I'd be down for it. I'd love it. If they came out and said we're going to go to the Star Wars Marvel route and we're going to create every other spin-off we can, like we're going to have a 6-part miniseries on Hobbiton, and then we're going to go over to Gondor and do a miniseries there, like they might be interesting, but I don't think there's enough there to create these miniseries and these spin-offs. So I hope that if they do it, they make it concise.
I agree with that. I think not everything needs to be like a universe builder. But I think there's something there. Because it's a fantasy world where they can talk so much. Like we talked about Marvel, and we'll come on to Ant-Man soon, but it's restricted by existing in our own universe and in our own world. That how far they can really go with it. But yeah, I think it's got a lot in the tank, and I did enjoy Rings of Power. It wasn't brilliant. Like it didn't have that like amazing first series, even first episode moment where it's like got you on the hook. But it feels like it has confidence in itself and the story that it will tell over the 5 series, is it, that they've committed to doing. So I think like when it's all said and done, it should be all right. But yeah, I would have liked something a bit more that made you go like, holy shit, this is going to be good.
Yeah. Having someone who hasn't seen it and has only basing this opinion on reviews, I could imagine that when that 5 seasons is said and done, we'll look back on it and go, "Fuck me, that was an incredible like television series." Whereas I think when you only have 1 season to go off, and it's a lot of world building, it's a lot of character development, you're kind of like, when you have that combined with so much nostalgia expectation and Easter egg expectation, people are kind of sat there going, "Oh, where's the rest of it?" Whereas the rest of it is still to come.
Yeah, it's I don't want to give too much away, but it relies on the mystery quite a bit of like who's who and who's what, and is that them, and it's very much like it felt like it leaned heavily into that. And that was not what anybody was, not necessarily not what they wanted, but certainly weren't expecting. Like people were expecting like something a bit more in your face and a bit more, but let's judge it when it's done. But it really picked up towards the end as the pieces started to come together. So we'll see. We'll see.
We will see indeed.
We will. But yeah, animated. I don't know if like, do I want an animated, given that Star Wars has some brilliant animated stuff, Marvel's done some great animated stuff, but like, I don't know if I want animated Lord of the Rings, like to add to the, like, yeah. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Harvey, when are you going to watch Lord of the Rings though?
I don't know. There's a lot of things on my watch list.
Like Fast and Furious for the 50th time.
Yeah.
You got to do it. I was set on the fence for a long time watching the series, and I finally decided, and yeah, you're missing out. Fantastic.
We'll
Even my university tutors like, "What you doing? Why haven't you watched it?"
Yeah. We'll just make a film club 3 weeks running.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Extended editions.
Great.
Film club.
But yeah, I agree 100% on everything you said about it.
There we go. Input from Harvey is very much valued.
Before we get on to film club, we should probably warn the chat heavily.
Oh yeah,
there's going to be about 15, 20 minutes of spoilers.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantamania. If you've not seen it, I don't want to say go away because I don't want the viewers to go down, but
put us on mute.
Yeah. Film club. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantamania. Here we go. How
should I start us off with Mr. Bedford?
Yes.
I don't know what he says, but let's even though he's not here, he's here in spirit, and he is his spirit.
Good evening, this is going to be my review of Ant-Man Quantumania. Overall, I think it was a good film. There were bits of it that reminded me of Star Wars, the cantina, the species, some of the fight scenes. Kang, it was all about Kang. It was a great introduction to him. I also enjoyed the introduction of Cassie, and I think the people that complain about MODOK are idiots. It's a massive head with small limbs. What did you expect? Overall, I'm going to give the film a 7 out of 10. I think a lot like Phase 4, you have a lot of 6 and 7s out of 10s which were good. They're not amazing and they're not groundbreaking, but what you get is a brilliant introduction to new characters, and I'm excited to see what they do next with Kang.
Fucking hell. Who put sugar on his cornflakes?
Jump scare.
Harvey, you haven't said much, so you can lead with the next opinion on this one.
I haven't said much, but I've ate a lot. So
we've saw.
I thought I enjoyed my time watching it in the cinema. That being said, I don't rate it very highly amongst other Marvel films. I feel like it felt more like a long TV episode than it did a movie. I very much enjoyed Kang. Definitely carried the film. Jonathan Majors has to be on gear because he was skinny last year. And yeah, MODOK, big head, funny man. I mean, I get he's supposed to be a joke character for the most part, even in the comics, but still, I think he was a bit wasted there.
He wasn't a dick though, which is good.
True. But people complaining about the way he looks. I'm like, well, he's supposed to be big, goofy head in it, you know. Shut up. Yeah.
I think MODOK was the only bad CGI in the film, really, because you can't make MODOK look good in live action.
No.
Because it's just not possible.
But for
But
someone
everything else
who's
in the
like
film is beautiful.
designed for killing, he kills no one in the entire film.
Yeah. I think, as soon as they decided to make it somebody rather than fully CGI and not relevant to somebody from the MCU, that was the problem. If they just made him just MODOK without a backstory or without a relevant character as him, like, they probably could have got away with the CGI. But fuck me, that was awful.
The CGI on the helmet was cool, though.
It was. It was.
I thought the movie was. I enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed the 2 hours I spent at the cinema. But the best way I can describe it is the next time I do a Marvel marathon, I will skip that movie.
Yeah. How many films are in that list now, though?
Yeah.
The skip list.
For me, it basically, and this will be a test to see some taste in the comments and on the podcast. Of it seemed like a modern day Shark Boy versus Lava Girl.
That seems to be like the common comparison that I've seen on TikTok.
Like, and like Spy Kids. I've seen a lot of Spy Kids comparisons, and like they were fine. It just like I saw another. It was either a tweet or a TikTok that was kind of like the original Marvel films where everything was based on Earth and things were quite normal. It was superpowers versus like super villains, and it was just job done. And now it's just chaos. Like, there is so many zombies and aliens and species and planets and quantums and multiverses, and there is just so much going on. I think the way they put it was like, when was the last time in the MCU where there was a meaningful scene that wasn't revolved around CGI, where it was just two actors on a real set going at it? When nowadays everything is just CGI and green screens, which is fine, but I just think like when the whole film, because I hadn't watched the trailer, so I went in blind, not knowing what to expect, and so I thought, okay, they're trapped in the quantum realm, that they'll be there for half an hour, and then Kang will go and destroy San Francisco. But
that's what I was expecting.
It was just broccoli guy and cheesehead going at it, and then they're getting big and small and big and small. And end of film, lots of Kangs, brilliant. Next film.
So, yeah, something Jordan said here that really picked up with. Definitely didn't feel like a
I
third
100%
film.
agree. I rate
Like
the Rick and Morty comparison there. It did
But
just
like
feel
the-
like a really long episode of Rick and Morty. I rate that.
It felt like it didn't feel like a third film. Now, granted, third films kind of struggle, but ultimately, I did feel like it tried to be a bit Ragnarok at times with like the quirky aliens and all of that, and it just didn't land. And I think the biggest thing I took away from it, and like it's rare that this happens now, other than on the grandest stage like Endgame, it just feels like there's no matter of consequence for our heroes anymore.
No one died.
Yeah, well, he was trapped in the quantum realm, and I was like, oh shit, like, and Hope went in with him, and I was like, all right, okay, so they're going to be down there, and they're going to be trapped there for a while, and maybe come back like later in the Kang series, and then I was like, oh, hello, well, we'll go back out there, and it just, the last kind of hero to die was Wanda, but they villainized her before that happened, so you kind of didn't feel that loss when it happened.
We're also not convinced she's dead.
Well, yeah, there is that as well. So, and with the multiverse, does anybody really die anymore?
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know if it's. I think, are they just running out of ideas? Like the multiverse is obviously a big thing, and they could have some real fun with it. But is it like, are we all just sat waiting for the mutants and X-Men now, rather than kind of the superhero stuff, and like have a good run at that? But I don't know. I just, I just think they don't know. It's the same old copy and paste formula. Everything's rosy. Shit goes off. The hero gets kind of put in trouble. They have a comeback, and then all is golden. And you're like, oh. But I will say, to reiterate, Harvey, Jonathan Majors was unbelievable, and he could really carry phase 5 and 6. But again, if you don't know who Kang the Conqueror is, they haven't really set him up as this bad guy who's meant to kind of eclipse Thanos like a million times over. Like, the great thing about Thanos is they made him look like inevitable. Like
I don't think Ant-Man was the right hero or film to introduce the Phase 5 King of the Baddies.
Yeah, it's like if Ant-Man can beat him, then the Avengers, no sweat.
If Ant-Man's kid can beat him, then what's the point? And like Amy said it as we were coming out of the cinema. She was like, there was no jeopardy. Like Janet says, this is the only thing. This is the last chance we're ever going to have to get out of here. They then get out of there, and then 8 seconds later, oh shit, there's a second chance to get out of here. Yeah. I thought 100% either Hank, Hope, or Janet were going to die, and like by like kind of sacrificing themselves so that Scott could get back. And then when it didn't happen, and everyone was just kind of happy as Larry, I was just like, oh, like there must be. When the final scene when Ant-Man's walking down the street going and suddenly has that realization of shit, maybe not everything's great. I thought that was then going to be this big closing shock moment when, I don't know, an asteroid hit his mum or something. Like, but no, there just was nothing. It just ended. And they seem as well to get rid of that comedy group, like his little like criminal group. Why the hell to get rid of them? They were funny. So not
Where's my money? Where's my money?
I feel a bit of a sicko for saying this, but when Ant-Man was up against Kang and the portal closed, I got quite excited because it's been a while, other than Endgame, since we've had a superhero film where they lose. And I think, like you said before, like there's no consequence. There needs to be another superhero film where someone loses and it doesn't go their way. Because it's rinse and repeat for every Marvel film, and it's the same again and again. And if they lose, it just changes it up a bit. And I really wanted Ant-Man to lose.
So my closing statement on it was, this is what I told like my best mate, who big Marvel fan. He's got like a 9-10-year-old son, so like they go and watch it together. And I was like, oh, I've got my ticket, I'm going. And then I messaged him after and said, like, look, I'm no spoilers, but here's my thoughts on it. And I just said, it's not a film you'll love, but it's, if you go and watch them all, you're going to have to go and see it because it introduces Kang. Kang's going to be important for the next 2 years. So you're going to have to see it, but you probably won't love it.
Yeah. I think Jordan's comment as well is like pretty apt in the sense that kind of goes back to our conversation last week about how you have to watch 25 different shows to know what's happening in the films. And we kind of watched a quick Loki recap before going to see it, and even then we were still confused at kind of like at the credit scene where all the Kangs are there. We were kind of like, right, so is Kang the Conqueror dead? And then there's a new one that kind of comes in his place. Are they all Kang the Conqueror? Like it wasn't like if you're not a diehard comics like trailer breakdown Marvel fan, I wouldn't be surprised if you're leaving that going, who was that? What was that? Where do I go from here?
Yeah. And hopefully I don't know what he's doing, but I think it'll come good. You know, like you think of it again, use the Thanos connection because that's probably the closest thing we'll get to connect to. But at least with like Thanos, they made him look big, important, menacing, and they teased him in where they just kind of haven't done it with Kang. But I guess we'll see. And I do think social media spoils it a little bit at times as well when, like, we want. Like, people put their theories out, and then when those things don't happen, they're like, "Oh no, that didn't happen. It was shit." Like, that's like that happens so much these days. Happened with Multiverse Madness, but that was poor in other ways. But yeah. So Marvel, Kevin, if you're watching, just kill someone. Look, we've got Guardians coming up. Actually, like kill them.
Yeah,
Kill
they're
half
gonna
of them.
lose.
Yeah, that's what I'm most excited for with Marvel next.
Oh,
I don't know about you, but like Guardians is about the only thing I'm excited for, and
Oh,
for the rest
he's flying
of
an
the
aeroplane now.
Let me back him.
I pulled it out again. I'm like fiddling with it. I'm just
Oh, you
fidgeting
got
with
it
it. I keep
You've done it
pulling
again.
out. I know. I was talking about how I'm playing with it and like fidgeting with it, and I was fidgeting with it while I was saying how I'm fidgeting with it, and pulled it out again.
It's not like you to fidget.
Pardon?
It's not like you to fidget.
Sick.
Keeping the fans busy, so he doesn't eat.
Anyway, it's all the cocaine. Yeah, like
Get that clipped.
Guardians 3 is like the only thing I'm excited for with Marvel for the rest of this year.
Yeah, I've just realised that my wish of wanting the heroes to lose is going to come true in Guardians, I think, because it's the last Guardians with this set of Guardians as a team. I regret my decision. Can I take it back?
I'm so unasked about this Guardians film. I'm not gonna lie.
I haven't watched the trailer apart from the Super Bowl one. I don't watch trailers anymore, but I'm excited.
We'll all go and see it. I feel like that's the mood anyway. We're all just like, but we'll go and see it, and then it'll be whatever it is. I wouldn't mind if a couple of them died. Like it just shake things up a bit. But
I reckon there'll be 2 or 3 deaths, at least.
Yeah.
I think Drax will definitely go because he's been in the media recently shit talking like how he doesn't really want his legacy to be defined by Drax, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he inadvertently knows he's on the way out.
Well, he said, didn't he? This is his last MCU film.
Yeah,
Batista said that a couple of times. So, yeah, it's the question will be like who goes with him.
I reckon Rocket.
I agreed.
Well, there's the other thing as well. With obviously they're all very close with James Gunn, and how many of them are going to be like, "Get me a DC job, James." And head over there. And imagine Bradley Cooper would like to be in a superhero film where you can see his face.
Yeah, get Dave Bautista as Solomon Grundy or something. That'd be sick.
That would be a good one.
Get Vin Diesel in as Dom Toretto.
I can't believe we've gone an hour and 8 minutes without talking Star Wars. That's a hell of a good effort.
Well, now's the time. Let's finish on a peak.
Someone get the music.
This is the way.
I'm currently I'm midway through season 2 at the moment, just doing like a kind of a bit of a catch up. But I have absolutely not taken into account that I also probably need to watch Mando season 2.5 and read.
Oh yeah.
But
I am very, very excited. It's on Wednesday, and that's only 2 days away.
Is it dropping the same time as Bad Batch?
If it is, Bad Batch probably won't get watched until like a week later anyway.
Nobody's watching.
I'm behind on Bad
Batch. Well, it's been
I never even thought about that.
When we were talking about TikTok earlier, you don't even see like episode breakdowns anymore. We didn't get it with Andor. Yeah.
Like, I guess that's not really content I look for on TikTok. Like, that's very much YouTube. I'd go to YouTube for a 12, 15-minute like episode or trailer breakdown, etc. I wouldn't want that on TikTok.
Yeah. So the question is, with Mando, what are you hoping for?
Mandalore.
John Favreau did say there was going to be another Luke Skywalker style moment, but it has even more of an impact on the galaxy.
What's happening here? What am I hoping?
Just showing off.
I wouldn't mind like more Easter eggs, like the Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, obviously in the last season. There was that brief cameo of Boba in, I can't remember if it was season 2 or season 1. Like, I like little things like that. I think more episode. I liked the episodes, the season 2 episode 1 where they go and fight that with Cobb Vanth, where they go and fight the big little thing with the Tusken Raiders. I like episodes like that where it's kind of like the episode is the story is an episode long, with then the overarching story across the season. But I'm excited. I realise, having rewatched seasons 1 and 2, that I really didn't watch seasons 1 and 2 to begin with. Like, they just kind of were on, and like I actually missed so much detail that I've now picked up rewatching it again.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple of times, and you do pick up stuff every time you watch it again. But there's stuff like the first time you watch it that isn't really relevant the first time you watch it, and then you miss its connection when it happens. But then when you go back and watch it, you're like, that's to what's coming later. So it is very well written in that regard. But yeah, I'm interested to see how they do it. I hope they go like deep into the story, because it doesn't need to be traveling planet to planet and doing like side missions now. Like, we're in the end.
Yeah, the side missions. I think we've sort of come to expect that now. Like, every other episode, he's going to be swanning off doing something for someone just to get some credits, basically. So I think we've got to expect that at some point.
But he's on Mandalore, or at least he's part of like that mission, and we know he goes to Mandalore. Now it's how quick that plays out, but his idea is to go to the caves of Mandalore to refresh himself and seek penance for removing his helmet. Whether that'll happen or not, I don't know. Like, because he might look at Death Watch and Bo-Katan and all that and think, actually, there's a different way. Like, this isn't the way. There's another way, and like, we can do this way. I hold the Darksaber. He doesn't really understand the importance of that yet, so he might learn a little bit about all of that. But I think overall, my expectations of the series is essentially the culmination of that. We're going to see the battle for Mandalore. Don't know who the antagonist is going to be yet. I think there'll be a bit of a surprise there, and I think it's made to look like Bo-Katan's going to be the bad guy in this, but I don't think she is. I think it's going to be somebody else. Is Gar Saxon dead? Don't know. Did he die in Rebels?
I hope so.
So.
They don't bring out a new minifig.
I mean, I remember him like half dead on the ship.
Was it Sabine's mother that killed him?
I think he did.
Might be, yeah. Might be then, yeah.
I remember him dying, but I can't remember if he actually like fully keeled over or not now. I distinctly remember him lying on the floor in like some ship, half dead.
It could be a select few people.
I mean, you reckon we're going to get any Thrawn-ness in there at all?
I hope not.
Even like a little name drop.
Show. Well, name drop, possibly. Because obviously they did that in season 2, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
The timeline's there. I mean, the timeline is absolutely there.
I mean, this is what the whole Mando verse is leading up to, surely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thrawn is the Thanos.
It very well could, and it could lead to, like, it could be an end credit scene, a bit like
Boba Fett.
Like Boba Fett, or like Moff Gideon in the first series, where he pulls out of the TIE fighter, gets out of his own TIE fighter with the Darksaber. It could be a bit of one of those moments, which then, because we've got Ahsoka in autumn, so I think it's in September. So it could tee up nicely for that.
Is Moff Gideon alive?
Yes, he was arrested, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. Tried to kill himself, and Mando or Cara Dune just popped him.
Cara Dune, I know she's quite controversial nowadays, but I was looking at her in season 2, and she's quite fit. Like, just a big,
I rate Gina
big,
Carano, though.
muscly.
Cara Dune.
She, I always liked her in Fast 4 she's in, and then pops up again in Fast 6, or is it no Fast 5 and Fast 6 she's in?
How do we always go back to Fast?
It wouldn't be NERDJUCE without Fast and Furious.
I think, yeah, should we just start talking about Fast and Furious films? Next week's...
Change it to Engine Juice.
What car would Mando drive?
Toyota Supra.
I reckon like a battered 60.
I don't think so.
It'd be a muscle car.
No. He'd have like a Civic Type R when he's like pre-Beskar, and then when he gets Mando, it'd be like a Ford Explorer or something. I mean, when he gets Grogu, it's a Ford Explorer.
It's a proper family car.
Yeah.
He
He gets a sedan. He gets a nice, comfortable SUV or minivan. He's got to store the armor and carbonite somewhere.
I could say like a Ford F100 from like the 50s, like a pickup truck, but like modernized, full on like Gas Monkey Garage style.
Just his quote is, "This is for family."
Yeah. But Luke, on the other hand, with his X-Wing, is absolutely the Paul Walker and Brian. So he'd be driving an import. He'd be driving the skyline of the Star Wars universe.
I feel like Luke Skywalker's definitely a Porsche driver. Like a little girly hairdresser's car. Like,
Boxster S.
Yeah, something like that. Or a Carrera, like a little 2-seater. Nothing nice.
X-Wings are nimble, though.
So Porsches are just... I don't know. It's a bit of a girly car. A little girly sports car. That's the vibes I get off Luke Skywalker.
Fair enough.
And that is what it's turned into.
Mando season 3 hype has gone into Fast and Furious.
This is what the
damn
people
franchise.
Obi-Wan's definitely driving like a Qashqai or something, though.
Nah, Honda Jazz.
Nissan Cube.
Oh.
Vader's got like
Vader's
Jeepers
definitely
Creepers, like his truck of Jeepers Creepers. He's
Tinted windows.
Yeah.
He's defo driving like a black Audi SUV or a Dodge Challenger or something all black.
Yeah. But
right. I think we could
Mando, but like we've wandered off a bit, Nathan. Let's at least bring it back to Mando seriously. But has Jon Favreau actually said that? Because I don't like that he said that about.
Yeah, someone asked them in an interview like earlier last week. Is there going to be another Luke Skywalker moment? And he said yes, but on a more galaxy impactful scale or something like that.
Hondo and Naka.
I'm a cameo.
If it's galaxy impactful, it'll be a villain, surely.
I mean, it could be Thrawn.
Yeah,
it's like it
would make sense.
Going to be Thrawn. Yeah, everything about it would make sense.
Or maybe Ezra.
Could well be Ezra. Yeah, I think we'll start to believe it. Yes. Ezra is the guy who played Aladdin in the live-action remake of Aladdin.
Oh, that's quite good. I like that. That's a good cast.
Sabine, I think we know.
Yeah, Natasha Leo Bordizzo.
Yeah, what Harvey said.
He's done some research, obviously.
How do I spell that?
Natasha, and then Liu, and then Bodizzo.
Oh, yeah, that's a good casting.
And then the guy who does the voice of Thrawn, the other Mickelson brother, he's doing live action Thrawn.
Was that confirmed? I can't remember. That.
Yeah. Official casting.
Mm.
What we don't have is, and we don't know for sure who's going to be in it, but I don't think we have a casting yet for Zeb. But Zeb Aurelius should be in this.
That's the thing is though, like, how do they make him in live action? Are they going to get a suit? Are they going to CGI him? Because he's a strange creature. Like Chewbacca, you just cover it in fur and it looks decent. But it's like he's like skinny.
He's mobile as well, isn't he? Like, he's active. So I think they have to do it. They have to build him. They can't CGI him.
I don't
certainly
know.
Not fully.
I think we might just see him on a hologram or something. I don't know if we'll actually see him full body. I think they might say he's gone off. He's helping out the Lasot or whatever now that the Empire's gone. He's rebuilding his planet or something.
Well, they go through that other. They go to that other place, don't they? Through the nebula. There's a bit where Agent Callus is pursuing them, and they go through that like space nebula cloud thing storm, and on the other side is where the Lasat have rebuilt their. So he could well be there.
Could be like a freedom fighter there or something like that. I don't know.
Could well be. Or he might be like a politician and a leader now because of his role in.
I mean, I couldn't see him being like a super serious politician.
No.
But yeah.
But live action Chop as well. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we've kind of seen that already in Rogue One. He makes a little background appearance.
Yeah, but we want. It didn't bring his character to life.
No, of course not. Zeb miniseries. I see a lot of people saying it would be fun to have like a Zeb and Agent Callus buddy cop series.
No, it would. But I'm. We'll see. I think the thing what's safe about Mando, when you compare it to something like Boba, like Mando is the center of that universe. Like everything is there to further him and his story.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're watching Mando, you can watch it safely. It's how he then impacts the other characters, especially after Boba. But I hope there's an episode where it's just Boba Fett on Tatooine, like being a crime lord, and there's no sign of Mando. Just for revenge. Scorecards. But
I'm excited to watch
possibilities.
Who's getting up at 8 o'clock and watching it at 8 o'clock to avoid all spoilers, or are you just going to do your best and watch it?
I don't go on TikTok anymore, so there are no spoilers.
I'll watch it when I get home after work, straight away.
I've got an exam in the morning and then work in the afternoon.
Oh no,
that's great.
As if someone's going to come into your work, Harvey, and be like, "Oh, have you seen Mando yet? You'll not believe what happened." Yeah. Max, Nathan, will your better halves watch it with you?
Amy will, because she's got a Pedro Pascal kink at the moment.
As opposed to.
That's a good point. She has always had.
No. What it was the way that I asked that question, and you answered it to clarify that you were talking about Amy, as if like there were other better halves that you have, and you were like, "Well, Amy, what like Stacey won't."
my other mistresses. She is not interested in Star Wars, but I think is interested in Pedro Pascal.
It's funny that, isn't it? Because I have that experience as well. Like, are you putting the Bad Batch on now? Yeah, you can. I'll go. Oh, you putting the Mandalorian on? Oh, I'll get
yeah.
All right, will you? I even got the other.
I was watching it at dinner, and he goes, "Oh, is that Daddy Pedro?" And I went, "He's not." I was like, "He's not taking his helmet off yet," so instantly disappeared.
Right on cue.
I'm glad he listens an hour and a half into the podcast.
I even got because we got back at about lunchtime today, and got in, unpacked, got some washing on, made a cup of tea, literally sat down on the sofa, and Rach, first thing she said was, "Oh, there'll be an episode of The Last of Us to watch." And I was like, "Oh yeah, there will be, yeah." So yeah, he's out there. Did any of you watch Graham Norton with him on the other day?
I didn't know it was on, but that will be on the watch this week.
Hilarious. Watch it. but like they just quiz him about it, and he's like, he's so self-aware of the obsession with him, and he is equally as obsessed with him. There's also a video, I think, where he's on a very similar show in America, and they hook him up to a lie detector, and they ask him questions like, when you're feeling sad, do you go and look at yourself, like fan pages of yourself online? And he's like, no. And they're like, straight away, it's a lie. And he starts laughing. It's like, yeah, I've got 3. And they're like, which one's your favorite? And it's like, yeah, Pedro Pascal is daddy or something like that. And he's like, yeah, I just sit and like admire myself. So
I might have to bring my moustache back, just kind of cash in on this craze and start making TikToks again.
'Tis the season.
There we go. That's what will bring you back to TikTok.
This is the way.
Right in time for celebration.
I think we will. I think the Tash will definitely be there for celebration.
So
get the Mando scruff.
Some would say a Tash is a celebratory like styling anyway. Like it only comes out for special occasions, and 'tis the season.
It is. Oh.
If only I could grow a mustache or any decent facial hair. But
keep trying.
I've been trying for 23 years. It's as good as it's going to get, I think.
I mean, you think that's bad. This is me after 3 months of trying to grow one.
Oh, it could always be worse, I suppose.
It's not that bad, but it is bad.
It could be worse.
No, I mean, at least
it'll happen to you all. Mark my words.
Mine will be there one.
I know. I've been trying to get my hair cut. I'm like, oh dear, it's going a little bit more every time.
So before we wrap, what's next week's film club? What's our homework, boss?
Do we want to put it towards the ever-loving fans of the Nerd Juice? I don't know. Should we give them 2 minutes to decide in the chat?
First few films that are put in the comments, we'll then decide one.
Yeah.
Watch Amy just rattle off all the Pedro Pascal films.
Do Lord of the Rings. There we go. Nathan's like, I've just watched them.
I know. Again? I haven't finished it yet.
To be fair, I would. Sharknado. I've never seen it.
Neither have I. I'm game for Sharknado.
Yeah.
There we go. Right, your homework, boys. Sharknado. What a film.
Oh, shit. I'm not here next week.
Yeah, neither am I.
James and Betty here next week.
They're going to have to be. Well, we'll see. Sharknado it is next week.
That'll be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Harvey? If anybody's seen it, it'll be you. No? Sharknado it is. It's going to be an interesting one.
Sharknado is the winner.
There we go. We got it. I think we've rambled on enough now, gents. I think we've done our fair share this evening. So to everyone that's here, I do hope you've enjoyed, and I hope that we've given you a bit of nerdy juice to keep stuff going. What do we think?
Juices have been flowing.
Oh yeah.
We'll see you all later.
I think that's it. Yeah, we're done.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
All your links are in the caption, even the Discord link. So that's why we haven't put it in the chat this time. So if you're not already, join the Discord because it's like banging in there. But yeah, peace.
Yeah, there's a lot banging in there.
See you later.